pretty well supplied where people actually can get in. I don't know if they're running on. I would surmise that these Walmarts are running on generators because the power grid's still down, and generators are coming in where people can buy them, where they can string electrical cords in for fans and for small window ACs or refrigeration or whatever. But man, generators are liquid gold. And this is what people are running off. So I'd imagine that these big generators, to run a Walmart, I mean, you'd have to have tractor-trailer type of generators. I mean, that's a big power grid to fire up the stores because of all the refrigeration, the AC system, the lighting system, and all that. That'd just be unbelievable. But we pray for the people. Continued prayers for Puerto Rico and for the efforts for... there's a lot of back and forth, why the aid hasn't got to certain parts of the island. And there's just really difficult areas where by helicopter, because of the roads are just impassable, to where now they're finally got to it. Geraldo was seeing the Coast Guard fly in with supplies to certain areas that you just couldn't drive into. And it's just, we've never seen something this widespread on the islands. Nothing this fierce, this ferocious. And there's just a lot of consuming issues that are out there, and that is definitely one that we have not ignored, and I don't want to ignore it for those poor people. But you're going to see an influx of people probably leaving that island. There's a lot of people that never want to leave because that was their home. That's all they knew, and they're going to stay. They're going to rebuild. But a lot of the palm trees and the beautiful things that you remember about Puerto Rico, it's going to take at least good 40, 50 years for that foliage, for the palm trees at the height they were and the beauty that they were. It's going to take at least 50 years to actually come back to where you remembered it. I mean, this is going to enormously hurt Puerto Rico, and already been plagued with economics problems, corruption, and a couple engineering firms I mentioned yesterday, not very firm on relief funds coming in and handed to the government because they're not sure that all that funding is actually going to go to the right hands because of the corruption, unfortunately, and the amount of municipalities throughout Puerto Rico. And that's why they ended up in the problems they're having right now. So maybe something good could come out of all of this somehow, where they can have some stability in their economy and government and get some new people in there, some new blood, and rebuild it. And I think it's possible. And if anybody can do it, the American spirit can certainly happen. And we're going to need some leadership in there, and hopefully we get it. And it's going to take all people working together. It's some of the mudslinging, if you will, that's come out of it, that FEMA has even said that a lot of the locals are not being too helpful. Not all of them, because a lot of them are helping their own families, but they're trying to get some of the government workers to do what they're needing to do, and they're just not getting the manpower, the will to carry out what they're asking to do. And it's a big task. It's an enormous task. I'm not on the ground there, so I don't see it, but this is what FEMA workers are saying. A lot of government workers are just not getting the cooperation from these locals and carrying it out as they need to distribute it and get the aid to where they need to go. There's just not the linguistics that we have employed in other areas, like in Texas and in Louisiana, as we finally were able to bring proper aid over there. That was a debacle too. I'm just praying that this doesn't turn into what plagued Bush. This would be Donald Trump's Katrina. I mean, this is far worse in some respects, with the damage and devastation. You can go back now to New Orleans and, French Quarter and all that. It's beautiful. It's better than ever. But, wow, to see still people saying they don't have enough food, they don't have any water. And Geraldo, of course, he's Puerto Rican, on Fox News, he's there just upset. But his family seems to have food and water there in San Juan. But it is a very populated city. However, there's so many other parts of Puerto Rico. It seems like San Juan is and there was definitely a lot of flooding, a lot of damage there. plenty of other areas in Puerto Rico, from north to south, east to west. Folks, who have millions and millions of homes have been affected, millions of people have been affected, and still, weeks later, people still don't have clean drinking water, don't have adequate food or medical supplies, hospitals, they can't care, they can't give proper dialysis. So if you're in these outward towns, these hospitals, a lot of them, clinics don't have any power. They can't help the people. And so that's why doctors early on said, if you're in Puerto Rico, try to get out if you can afford a plane ticket. And that's probably the best advice. And a lot of people are just going to have to do that to get out. And if they have family over here, there'd be better advantage to come stateside and to rebuild their lives. And they're going to have to visit the debt ceiling quickly, probably quicker than ever, because of the amount of money that's being spent on all of these disasters are crazy. By the way, the GoFundMe page is set up for victims. Be careful. Usually it's screened on GoFundMe, but for the victims from the Vegas shootings, they're raising money. But if you want to give to a great cause, that would be great. Go to the GoFundMe page, look for it, research it, and give, and do what you can. Folks, we appreciate you listening. We appreciate your support. Our listener-supported broadcast. Our coffee mugs on sale now for $20, plus a few dollars shipping and handling. Keith Allen for the people saying, all the best. May God bless.